And here's what's happening at Utopia Farms today. We're probably going to end up having to bale it up and throw it away. Farmers, it's always about the weather. This is the wrapping of the hay. Girls are going to finally get to go to pasture. Come on, it's only a little puddle. Jump over it. The reason sheep have that reputation of you know what. Who can spot cheese? Let's get started. So as I walk over to the barn with my bottles, you can see behind me, this is, I think he got 94 bales off yesterday while we were shearing, but we had that thunderstorm. And I don't know if you can tell. It really got soaked. Now this is in bale form, so inside should still be pretty good, but the outside's really wet, and we are gonna wrap it, so we're hoping this will be okay. But this hay came from around the field, the one that was seeded last, that got all burned off and stuff last year. If you didn't see that video, you can have a look at it. But the center portion, where they didn't cut down the barley last year, Arnie had cut it down, but he didn't have time to rake and bale that. And we had a downpour last night. And we're gonna hope that it comes back, like dries up, but we're probably gonna end up having to bale it up and throw it away. Because when you get a big soaking rain like that, even if you get it dry, it gets musty and it's just never right. So positive news is we got half of it done. Bad news is that we lost the other half, but it was coarse anyway, so here's hoping for a wonderful rest of the haying season. Now we are going into a heat wave, into the 40s they're talking, so great for hay, not great for other things. With farmers, it's always about the weather. So I'm going to get feeding these guys and we'll get on with it today. And if you've been with us over a year, you know what we're doing now. This is the wrapping of the hay. One marshmallow ready, saran wrapped and good to go. Okay, right now I'm just gonna let these February moms go out to the pasture. They're all ready to go. These ones, the stragglers over here, are gonna stay here because we're gonna trim their hooves. But these girls are gonna finally get to go to pasture. We'll let the other girls out shortly, but Arnie needs to trim some hooves first. It's much easier to catch them if they're all together than to have to find them. Oh, and there's a puddle because it rained. Come on, you guys. Come on. They just don't like puddles. Come on, someone go out. Come on. Come on. Go on out. Come on. Come on. Come on, go out. Yeah. Go on. Get out. Go on. Come on. It's only a little puddle. Jump over it. Is that ridiculous? Now Arnie figured out that he has to put some hay there so that they'll be fooled. There they go. Silliest little things. Oh my goodness. Look at the size of that puddle. Is that a big one? Come on, you're going out to pasture. You don't need to do that. That split up in two little sections here, but they're going this right way. Got the field ready and open for them. This will be their first time out on pasture this year. And they'll be joining up with the January girls who are out on pasture. And their field I showed you the other day was eaten up. So we've given them a new field today. The one they were on first, it's all ready and grown back now. Ben, come here. Good boy. Good boy. And then they'll discover a gate here, hopefully, where there's lots of nice grazing for them. Come on, turn around. It's right in front of your face. Max, come on, good boy. No, why would you go that way when there's an open gate? You really have to wonder. Open gate, real obvious. 12 feet or 14 feet. Might even be 16 feet. And they come back and walk into the thistles. Give your head a shake, girls. There are reasons sheep have that reputation of you know what. Come on out. Look at them. Some of them still haven't figured out there's a gate there. Max, come here. There we go. You guys want to join them? These girls know the way. These are the majority of next year's breeding ewes. They'll be out here for maybe a week, and then we're going to switch them over to this paddock, which they haven't been in yet. But for now, this field grew back really well. We got the Dorset lambs out in that paddock over there. Come on, Max. Good boy. This group does not get to go outside. This is the Dorset group with a couple of Suffolks in here that we just weaned. Chewy's in here as well. Who can spot Chewy? But these guys are still drying off, so they have to stay here. And these will be the next to get sheared as well. Why would you guys come back? See, these guys have been in a barn all this time, and you'd think they'd be so happy to be in the field. And 2 of the Suffolks are coming back. Why would you do that? I thought it was a treat. I don't know. You just can't figure sheep out sometimes. Looks like they might consider going back out, but I figure when your sheep are able to eat indoors or outdoors, most sheep, if you open the door, are happy to go out at this time of year and forage for those nice fresh grasses that are really nutritious and probably extremely tasty. But it requires a little bit of work. You gotta walk out there. There could be a few bugs. You have to chop it down like a lawnmower. You have to run all the way out there. And although the majority prefer that, you will get, just like with humans, these sheep who are still running around here. It's like they don't know where they belong, but they actually came from this barn before they were sheared. So I don't know what they're doing, but I'm gonna chase them back out to the field. But I figure there's those odd sheep like people that would rather sit at a feeder and have someone feed them processed food like the junk food junkies that we have in the world today. It's not like the processed food on a farm is junk food, but it's not the fresh leafy stuff that you would think that a normal sheep would enjoy. They're going for stuff that's been stored, wrapped, cut, dried, you know. They're processed food girls. Go on back. Give your head a shake. Go on. Join the crew. My goodness. Good job, Ben. We'll see where they go. The gate's open. Did they choose to join their group in the field, or did they go into the barn? One definitely went to the field. Let's see what the other one did. Ben, come on. My goodness, what are you doing? Ben, come here. Let's get her out of here. Come on, go to the field. What's wrong with you? Get out of here. There's not even hay in the feeder. No, not that way. Ben, go get her. Get her, Ben. Get going. Go on. No fair weather sheep allowed. My goodness, you think you're doing them a favor. Go on, keep walking. She's lived with this crowd for, well, since lambing. This is her group. They all got sheared together. There's always a few troublemakers in the crew. Come on, Betty. Come on, Ben. Boy. So for those of you who haven't seen wrapping hay before, some people call it haylage, but it's basically wet hay. In the olden days, and I mean, it's not been that long since we had wrappers. Not sure, but maybe 20 years they might have come to Europe, but they're pretty new here. But the benefit of a wrapper is that the first cut hay is ready usually by June 1st at the latest. And to cut that to make dry hay, it's impossible because it's that lush, fresh spring grass and it's going to mold in dry form. So what farmers used to have to do is let it dry out till like July and cut it. So first cut was always poor quality hay. Nowadays we can wrap it with some moisture in it and seal it up, and it's like it ferments. You let it ferment for a month, and after that time you're able to feed the hay. And because it was cut early, it's retained the nutritional value, like almost to the value of second cut, or maybe even equal to second cut. So, and it is also, if it's raining and it's gonna ruin your dry hay, you can always go in and wrap it before the rain too. If that way you don't lose your hay that you had intended to be dry hay, because you can wrap it up still when it's moist. So it's made farmers able to retain their hay and have better quality first hay, better than they did, like, say 20 years ago. So people always talk about first cut hay as being the worst hay, but first cut wrapped hay is pretty well like second cut dry hay. It's usually cut earlier, and so it's retained all its nutrients. And that's the benefit of wrapped hay. The bad thing is that you have to have it fed in a year. And to be honest, you have to have dry hay fed up in a year too, because dry hay, every month, hay loses its nutritional value. However, dry bales, if you were in a pinch, you could feed them even 2 years. You just might have to add extra nutrients because it will have lost a lot of it, whereas wrapped hay tends to turn to muck and mold after a year. So you want to make sure that you have it all eaten up within the year. And also wet hay, once you open it and feed it to your sheep, you want it fed up totally, usually within 2 days, or the air now coming onto the damp hay is going to make it mold as well. So if you have enough sheep, it's a fantastic tool, and that's why we do it. And because you're able to take the hay off earlier, that allows the fields to grow back again, and it will allow you that second and third cut hay, which is always a better nutritional value anyway, whether it's wrapped or dry. Right now Arnie's gonna get one of the old wrapped bales of hay. We're gonna go over and feed that to the rams right now. Like I say, you can't feed this hay that we just got off the field yesterday to the sheep right now because it's way too rich, and they're gonna get stomach problems. So the rams are still in the barn right now, so it's real easy to feed the hay today. We were gonna treat the rams for scald. I think there's 2 of them that are limping, but Arnie really needs to get that hay wrapped. So it's always prioritizing things. The sheep will be fine for a day or 2 more. And they're gonna come out on the platform here now, and maybe even in the morning we'll grab them and give them a shot. Okay, Arnie's just gone in to get the rams. They're gonna look a little different today. I find they always look so skinny without their wool, because you gotta imagine that the wool is, say, 3 inches long, and it's wrapping all the way around them, so that's adding a lot of girth to the animal. That's why if you're buying sheep, try to buy them when they're shorn off. Then you can really see what you're looking at. Wool hides all the faults, and it makes them look more robust than they actually are. Unless they're humdingers like these boys already. There's one of the limpers. I know there's a white one and a Suffolk. Everyone else looks pretty good, I think. But we'll grab them and give them a little jab, and they'll be fine. Well, we'll actually look at the hoof first, because we'll only jab them if it is scald. If they've just injured their foot, we won't be doing anything to them. Arnie just got his next load of hay from the field, and he's got a whole bunch more to wrap here. Okay, what are we going to do now, Arnie?
I'm going to check the moisture in this hay that got 1 inch of rain on it last night.
You think it was only 1 inch?
Yeah, I had 1 inch, so...
Okay, let's, so we're...
Going to check it out.
He's got a probe.
Says it's in the green, the battery's fine. See?
Yeah.
And we know the moisture is about 20% right here. Oh yeah, it's right up, babe. So this is... We're going a little bit, the day might be wet, from the rain, eh?
Yeah. Well, obviously they will, but you want to see how wet it is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So he sticks the probe in.
Over 40%.
Yeah.
So it reads 40.
Wet.
It's
Yeah.
maxing right out. So we'll go to a different spot.
And how wet do we want wet bales?
Oh, some people say, I don't know, but 40% is going to cure for silage
For sure.
I wouldn't want it. Under the 25, because I don't think there's enough moisture to do the the reaction.
The only problem with it being like over 40%, like normally he does do it around 40%, but this was that rich, thick hay, got rained on as well. And the only problem that's possible in the future is when we feed this when it's the middle of winter, they could be extremely heavy and they could freeze a little bit, like ice cubes or hay cubes.
I don't think they'll freeze, but they're definitely 1,000 pounds.
So yeah, and also harder to roll out.
So each 2 bales is
So there'll be
a ton.
And there'll be a lot more cursing when you're rolling them out next
Stay away
year.
from the barn, babe.
Oh, I think everyone will need to stay away.
But it's all over 40%.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Yeah.
And I thought, and you've seen the dust come from the baler.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It seemed quite dry yesterday, but I'm thinking that it's very humid. We got a lot of rain.
I like to have it like this, or even a little drier, because I got to roll it, man.
And that's the new wrapped hay there behind. We've already we've still got the old stuff here. We're almost done, but that's how quickly time goes by, because now we're piling it up again, 3 high, by the trees where the cats and the raccoons are. And on that note, we're gonna call an end to today, and it's gonna be to be continued again, because we've got more hay to pick up, and we've got some decisions to make about the hay that's left laying in the field that got rained on, and all kinds of other stuff. So be sure to stay tuned for the next episode at Utopia Farms. Bye for now, everyone.